Many Catholic and mainline Protestant churches, like the ones you've mentioned, have become like old folks' homes in many ways, and Catholic seminaries are disappearing. There's a shortage of Catholic priests worldwide. Why is Christianity losing the battle to save the youth from the immorality of popular culture?
One of the first things that will happen as we restore the Gospels as the path of spiritual practice is that we'll come to understand through the Gospel of Matthew that everything is change, that there is no such thing in the universe or in Christianity as stasis. The moment that you choose to just lock it down and say this is the way it's always been and this is the way it always will be, then the life and the vitality is gone. So one of my great heroes is Pope John the 23rd from the late 1950s and the early 1960s, who said we've got to open the windows of the church and let the breezes come back in. Who knew that for my tradition to be eternal means that it must always be in the process of change. Now the question of change is how much, what's good change, what's not good change, but we as a tradition cannot stand against the world. We cannot say that technology and science are in and of themselves evil or not of God. We've got to move and embrace the world and discern from within it what's helpful and creative, what builds up communion, and what's of disharmony and dis-ease and injustice. So when I look at the next generation, and I already am not that old, but I'm looking at the generations coming after me, and I realize they've got a life experience which is not mine. And I'm not going to be in that world. My concern is how do we move them to a world without fearing it? How do we help them, how do we help give them the core values to embrace change and continue to see God's moving spirit in our life? And I mean, that it's so easy to say, it's so hard to do. But the first thing that concerns me is when much of the Christian tradition today just looks out at the enormity of change and fears it, or says that this level of change cannot be of God. Well, as we talked about in the other show, if the universe is moving by the breath of God, then much of what we're discovering has also got to be of God.